Hello, Munchie Mafia. Tonight we are making strawberry rhubarb drunken crisp. What we're going to be starting out with is 2 pounds of quartered strawberries. We're going to just put them into this pan and just kind of even it out a little bit because you want to make sure that they're not just all in one little corner. All right. We're going to set this aside. And in this pot here, we've got another 2 pounds of strawberries, and we have 2 stalks of rhubarb that's been cut up into little pieces. And then next, what we're going to need is 2 cups of sugar. What I'm using is Apothic Chardonnay. You can use any other kind of wine. And we're going to give it a pretty good douse. About half the bottle. For this amount, that is. So I'm going to stir this around so that the sugar is not all just sitting at the very top and that the strawberries are nice and coated. I'm going to add just a little smidge more. 3/4 of a bottle. I mean, they're going to be drunken anyway, right? And this is going to reduce a little bit. You always want to make sure that you cook your rhubarb because it can cause some serious stomach upset when it's in its raw form. All right, now we're going to put it on the stove. I'm going to turn it on to a medium high. And then we're going to move on to the next task, and that's making the crumble topping that I like to put on top. And so what we're going to need is another pot right here, 2 sticks of butter, and we're going to get this all nice and melted on the stove. You don't want to use the microwave for this. So we've got 8 ounces of butter, and so then we're going to get ourselves some flour. It's going to be roughly about a cup or so, cup and a half, maybe cup and 3/4. Not everybody has a scale, so we're just kind of guesstimating. All right, there's that. We'll just set that aside for the moment because we might need to add a little bit more. So about a half cup. We already have sugar in with the strawberries and rhubarb. We're going to let that boil for a little bit. So you're going to want cinnamon as well. A couple tablespoons, maybe a tablespoon. I like cinnamon. You may not. It's all up to you because this is going to be your dish after all, right? So if you like to put nutmeg in there or cardamom, go for it. Own it. Make it your own. But definitely put some love into it because it needs a love. Just want to give this a stir just to make sure that it all combines, but you don't want to stir it too aggressively because as the wine starts to heat up, the sugar will recrystallize. So just kind of just move it around, pokey poke, pokey poke, pokey poke. Get a spoon rest. Our butter is getting all nice and bubbly. And then we're going to use some quick oats. And this is the quick 1-minute oat. I don't have any preference to any brand really. This is what Timmy picked up for me because I forgotten that I had pretty much run out. So whatever you can afford, of course. And one of the things that you can definitely do with your strawberries is you could make it into a bumbleberry crisp. And a bumbleberry crisp is what bakers call a pie that's got all the leftover berry fillings that may not that they may not have enough of to make a whole pie. So sometimes what they'll do is they'll take cherries and raspberries and strawberries and blueberries and mix it all, and blackberries, and mix it all together. So bumbleberry doesn't always have to be the same thing, but you can definitely make it yourself that way. So now we're going to take the butter. Now that it's fully melted, we're going to incorporate it right there into that. And we're going to mixy mix. And we're going to see where we're at. Now a roux is a 1-to-1, but that's not necessarily the case with crumble topping. So this is definitely going to need more than that. So we're going to add more because we want it so that it's stiff, but not too stiff. So just add a little at a time until you get there. Yeah, it should be almost Play-Doh consistency or clay, just like so. And it should have a little bit of a tacky feel to it, but you should be able to grab it and say, okay, it's pinching into little balls, kind of like that. Okay, there we have that. Then we're going to add some oats. That's going to be about 1.5 cups. Now, if you don't like oats, you don't have to use them. But you can definitely put nuts in there if you want, like hazelnuts or pecans, walnuts. Just, crush them up a little bit. Don't crush them too fine because you want that texture. Now that's looking all nice and crumbly. Add just a little smidge more. So I like oats. Oats are good for you. However, if you cannot have gluten or you're trying to avoid gluten, make sure that your oats actually say certified gluten-free. Not all of them are certified gluten-free. This one says non-GMO project verified, but let's see here. You're looking for a gluten-free label on here. And to be honest, I'm not seeing it. It should be there in bold print. So Quaker Oats. Go with Bob's Red Mill. If you can't have the flour because you're doing gluten-free, use oat flour. Almond flour can be a little weird because a lot of those have a lot of rice and xanthan gum in it. And this isn't one of those things that you want that xanthan gum in. So look at your labels again. See if it's got xanthan gum listed in there, and also if it's got rice. If you can just get just pure almond flour, that's ideal. Almond and oat. Combination of the two, 2-to-1 oat to almond. And if you have an allergy to eggs, you'll be happy to know that this does not have egg in it, or will not have egg in it. All right, let's go take a look at our fruit. Okay, so we got bubbling going on, and so we're just going to move this around a little bit. We're going to turn this down and just let it reduce. Let it stop being so angry, which will take a little while. let's go back to the strawberries for a moment. We do want to give it a little bit of cornstarch. And the reason why is because that's what we're going to use to make sure that it's definitely going to be thickened up to the right consistency. Now again, um, if you're looking for something that's a better thickening agent than cornstarch, you can use arrowroot, because that works very well as like a slurry. And now we're going to just mix this by hand. So that they're all coated. We don't want them too terribly coated, okay? Just a little bit. Because we don't want this way too thick, where it's going to stick in the pan and it's going to have that gummy, pasty texture to it. So like a couple tablespoons will do ya. Scant quarter cup even. Now we're going to come back over here and take a look. This is going to take a little while, because we really want the natural pectins from the fruit to really get this to settle up a little bit more. So we're going to leave it on low, and we're going to come back and check on it. All right, as if by magic, we have our simple syrup, and this has been going for quite a while. It's reduced quite a bit, so we're going to pour this on hot over the top, and we're going to try to get as much of these berries out as humanly possible. Because chances are I probably put way too much wine in there than I thought I should have. So those strawberries have been cooked down. We're going to mix it together so that that cornstarch can mix in. And any excess that you've got, because you don't want them too swimming, any excess that you've got, you can cool down, put into a blender, and turn it into a simple syrup for beverages. Do yourself some wine cocktails or anything else, basically. And we're going to just grab some and sprinkle over the top. And we're going to sprinkle all of it. Now, you don't want to just dump the whole bowl on there, because what will happen is it'll sink to the bottom. And then you don't have that crumble. It's all mushy on the bottom. It's like having like a mushy oatmeal strawberry thing going on. And we're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. And we're going to bake this until all this crumble is all nice and golden and crispy and delicious. Which usually takes about 20 minutes. All right. And just spread it around gently without pushing it down into the liquid. And there we have it. All right, now we're going to go in the oven, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, and now we got it out of the oven. It's been about 20 minutes. We're going to get ourselves a little bowl. And as you can see, it's seized up quite a bit. There's still quite a bit of liquid in there. If you let it sit for a little while longer, until it's, just warm, it's going to be a lot easier to handle. And we live in the great Pacific Northwest, so we are fond of Tillamook ice cream. Now, if you can't eat ice cream, you could do like a non-dairy topping. like Cool Whip or something like that, or there's a few of the lactose-free ice cream options that are out there on the market as well. So that's pretty much it right there. We got our beautiful dessert. It's all nice and hot and steamy, and that ice cream is just going to just melt and look really, really, really good. So here we have it. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you very soon. Thank you for coming, and don't forget, like and subscribe. Have a good night.
If you haven't yet subscribed to Munchie Mafia Official, now is that time. What's stopping you?